What was it like to be back in?
Yeah, it was a lot of emotions. Most of it was relief. Obviously, the way the boys started and the season started wasn't quite what we all expected. So to be a part of our first win in Adelaide Oval for the season was a lot of relief. Be a part of Eddie's 300 at the Brody's 150. There was there was a lot of stuff going on, but to be a part of finally a win at home was pretty special for sure. And we'll hopefully back it up this weekend. I'm sure we will. But yeah, it was nice to get that win for sure.
Just how frustrated were you at the start of the season?
Obviously you want to be part of the side, and when the boys aren't getting the results that you want and the team wants, it sucks. But obviously coming from a limited pre-season, I was in constant contact with Pikey, and when you lose games you think, oh, maybe you're a chance. I was able to do a lot of running during the pre-season, but not a lot of the footy stuff, and that's what they wanted out of me. So I had to find my way in through the sample, which was frustrating, but also a chance to play with some guys I hadn't played with, which was fun, and work with Heath again, which was cool. But yeah, it sucked when the boys were losing, and there was nothing you can do about it, but happy to be a part of it again.
Was there a directive from them, Hugh, on what you had to do? I mean, 4 weeks when you're fit in the sample, it seems like a long time. Yeah,
it felt like a long time, Theo. It was just about getting some games under my belt, I think. Like I said, I was able to do a fair bit of running during the pre-season, but not so much the football stuff, and my strength is the contact stuff and the change direction, physical side of things. So that's what I wasn't able to do in the pre-season. So I needed to prove to Pikey and Camp on these guys that when I come and play AFL level that I can bring those things. Otherwise, I'm pretty useless without those things. So I had to show that I could do it at the sample, and not only play games at sample but play at a level above. And a couple of games I was pretty quiet in the sample, so had to be able to prove that I could go above and beyond. So when I came back to AFL level, I was ready to contribute.
Have you ever had that abdominal injury before?
No, it just came out of nowhere. It came during the off season. I just sort of woke up one day after a session, was a little bit sore, and usually when I get sore, it just sort of goes away, but it just never went away. So it went for months and months where it just was sort of 2 steps forward, 1 step back. So I'd never ever had a problem. I think playing basketball, you're always in a low sort of stance and change of direction. So yeah, it sort of came out of nowhere. I think it was what was really frustrating, but thankfully on top of it now, I've got Steve, the guru here, who was a bit of a blessing in disguise having him here.
Something really helped Steve Saunders?
Yeah. Well, he's the guru with anything ab and core and back and all that sort of stuff. So it was fortunate enough that he was here and able to help me. He's helped a lot of guys, Brad especially, Andrew McPherson especially. So yeah, it was good to have him and get a reassurance from him for sure. He helped me a lot during the last couple of months.
Funny thing, isn't it, how confidence, you seem confident again. How does that change so quickly in the 300?
The team? Not after the first quarter, for sure. It was it was ugly for sure, to say the least, but we've come in each day, even after the losses, coming in on Monday, and obviously some things we weren't happy with, but we're still confident in our brand of footy, and we're confident in the list that we have and the direction that we're going. So although we weren't getting the results, we had confidence that we're good enough, and our best is good enough. So I think the Gold Coast game just showed that what we can do when we put everything together. So now it's about doing it consistently. So yeah, we've always been confident, but we just haven't been able to show that in games. But Gold Coast was certainly a step in the right direction, and we'll see if we can continue to do that going forward.
Was there anything you were critical of afterwards? Did you feel like, well, it was good, but hey, this is something we need to change?
No, it was super positive. I mean, we were really critical the 2 weeks prior of our contest stuff, contest and loss of field position. Like, no matter who you are, you're not going to. It's difficult to transition the ball from deep in your defensive 50s and get it in your forward 50. So we just focused on really simple stuff, just forward half turnovers, just our contest stuff, and we just focused on something so small, but it helped us certainly, and it gave our forwards more of a chance, and we're all sort of on the same page. So. We came out of Gold Coast with a lot of positives, but having said that, obviously there will be things that we continue to work on, but we just focused on those little things and it took care of itself.
Are you becoming Adelaide's Mr. Fix-It sort of thing? I mean, a bit of time at centre forward, taking a few grabs, kicked a goal with a ferocious celebration, maybe?
Yeah, it was a bit of carrying, wasn't it? There was plenty of carrying. No, it's always sort of been sort of a utility sort of put. I just want to get in the side, so I was happy to put my hand up playing forward, playing mid, but obviously with the guys that we've got going through the midfield now, there's it's tough to get a spot. So being able to be flexible and play different positions certainly helps. So playing as more of a forward, last week, and I'm assuming moving forward too. So embracing that role, and I started as a forward when I first got to the club, but they could pinch through the midfield too. So I'm just happy to be a part of it again there.
How's the variety in the squad at the moment? It seems like you've got a whole lot of different type of players who could replace Wayne Miller at the moment.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of the boys in the sample at the moment. Everyone's sort of putting their hand up. There's no other than Miles, who had a blinder on the weekend. That was unbelievable. There's guys that are continually putting their hand up. Benny Davis has been in awesome form since the beginning of the season. Galucci's a guy that's proven he can play at AFL level. So then you've got Ned and Chase as well. So there's plenty of options for sure, which is a nice luxury to have. You can never sort of replace Wayne's excitement and what he brings to the side, which is disappointing that we'll miss him for a few weeks. Hopefully it's not any longer than that. But as I said, there's plenty of guys putting their hand up, and all those guys, they've built the trust at sample level that they can come in and play a really strong role for us at AFL.
Do you reckon it took you a while to adjust to the rule changes and tweaks, and do you feel like you're now comfortable with it?
Yeah, well, I didn't play any JLT, so I got caught off by the whiteboards, the big boards with the numbers on. I had to keep reminding myself to look over, because once you're out there, you just sort of get into a zone, and you just sort of but I had to keep reminding myself to look over to see if my number was called. So, but other than that, everything's good. I think if I gave away a 50, I'd just get out of the way. I'm not going to try and chase someone down for sure. Save the energy there. But rule changes, it's cool. It's good the sample's done it too. I mean, I played more in the sample with the 6-6-6, so it sort of opens up the centre square, which is cool and exciting for the game, but not a whole lot. I mean, Tomo, the runner, didn't come out at all during the first quarter because there was no goal scored. So he had the jacket on at quarter time because he had not moved. So, but other than that, it was all good.
Benny Hart said Tuesday that St Kilda's pressure and the way that teams have been able to disrupt you, like Hawthorn and Geelong, St Kilda are quite good at. So how do you plan for that sort of thing, given the Gold Coast win was good, but it probably wasn't in all respects to the level of pressure that you'd experienced in Hawthorn and Geelong. So how do you prepare for St Kilda's?
Yeah, so we just sat down and did our oppo scout with St Kilda, and they've highlighted that their pressures, their forward half turnovers and their defensive stuff is at a really high level, and Hawthorn and Geelong certainly bring that, and obviously we struggled. So we trained it last week with our pressure. We fight pressure with pressure. We back our skills in too. So no messing around with it. We saw last week what happens when we just go forward and we attack the game and we get good results. So we worked on those things against Gold Coast, but St Kilda will have to bring it to another level again.
So when you say fight pressure with pressure, so if the ball's in dispute and they're putting pressure on you, what are your sort of triggers for your midfield group to sort of make sure you can sort of unsettle them at the same time?
Well, first things first, try and win the footy. Our contested numbers have been poor the last couple of weeks until the Gold Coast game. But if we can get it done, fantastic. Get it forward. If we can't get it done, then we got like Curly, we got myself, we've got Sloaney. These guys are just ferocious at the contest. We provide pressure. So if they do win it, or if we do turn it over and they win it, we're making it difficult for them and making it easy for our defenders. So I think it'll be hopefully not as ugly as the first quarter against the Gold Coast. But it'll be a high pressure game, and it's at Marvel Stadium, so no conditions should be sweet, obviously, but we'll see. We'll soon find out.
Has it become more of a game of field position this year than other years?
Yeah, I think so. Well, Richmond's sort of set the bar with their pressure. The Bulldogs did it a few years ago, and then Richmond have done it with smaller lineups and ability to turn the ball over in the forward half and just go forward. So you've seen a lot of other teams do it now, and I've spoken about it a couple of times, but just the importance of the contest, and if you don't win it, to be able to turn it over and try and win it back. So that's where the pressures sort of come in, and different teams do it differently, but I think that most teams would come in on a Monday and talk about the contested stuff and talk about field position and pressure, because it's really, really important. And it's funny that with the game's trying to open up, get low scores, but teams are selecting teams based on pressure and contest stuff, and the scores have actually been lower again. So it won't take long until some coach figures it out and opens it back up again.
You've probably seen it a bit more than we have, but the first time we saw it today with Paul Season jogging around, how nice is that? It's
a relief, because I mean, when we saw it and everyone saw the injury, we assumed that he'd be still in a brace and just coming off surgery, thinking it was ACL. So to see him running around a couple of weeks later, it's awesome. I'm assuming he's still a little bit sore, but think about, as I've said, a positive. If we thought he'd be, coming off surgery, to see him running around and hopefully be back in a couple of weeks is fantastic for us and fantastic for him as well.
All good.